green-skinned kids appeared mysteriously. The year is 1150 or thereabouts. England, under the reign of King Stephen, is a land fractured by civil war, a tapestry of paranoia woven with threads of ambition and whispered betrayals. In the quiet Suffolk village of Woolpit, nestled amongst rolling fields and dense forests, life unfolds at a predictable pace. Farmers tend to their crops, children play in the dirt, and the church bells mark the passage of days. Yet this idyllic scene is about to be shattered, not by the clash of swords or the machinations of kings, but by something far stranger, something that will forever stain the village's history with an unsettling hue. Rumors begin to circulate, whispers carried on the wind, of figures seen lurking near the edges of the forest. Figures unlike any seen before. The story, passed down through generations, centers around two children, a brother and sister, discovered near one of the many wolf pits that gave Woolpit its name. These weren't ordinary children, born of the English soil. Their skin was a distinct, unsettling green. Their clothes were made of an unknown material, and their language was utterly foreign, incomprehensible to the villagers. Disoriented and frightened, they were taken in by a local landowner, Sir Richard de Calney, whose estate offered them refuge. However peculiar the circumstances, but even in refuge, the strange children remained an anomaly, a constant source of unease and bewilderment. Their very existence challenged the known world, suggesting realms beyond human comprehension, and perhaps a danger lurking just beyond the familiar. The initial reaction to the green children was, understandably, a mixture of fear and fascination. The villagers, steeped in folklore and superstition, saw them as otherworldly beings, perhaps fairies or demons. Sir Richard, a man of some education and curiosity, viewed them as an enigma, a puzzle to be solved. He provided them with food and shelter, patiently observing their behavior. The children, however, refused to eat anything offered to them, except for raw beans. This strange dietary preference further fueled the speculation about their origins, solidifying the belief that they were not of this world. Their silence, their inability to communicate, created a wall of mystery around them, hinting at a hidden narrative, a tragic story waiting to be told. If only someone could understand their alien tongue. As time passed, the children slowly began to adapt to their new surroundings. The boy, unfortunately, sickened and died, unable to adjust to the unfamiliar environment. The girl, however, proved more resilient. She gradually learned to speak English, offering the first tantalizing clues about her origins. She claimed to come from a land called St. Martin's Land, a place where the sun never shone brightly, and all the inhabitants were green like her. This land, she said, lay in perpetual twilight, a stark contrast to the sun-drenched fields of Suffolk. How she and her brother arrived in Woolpit remained a mystery, a blank space in her memory filled only with a vague sense of wandering and confusion. The girl's account, while intriguing, only deepened the mystery. St. Martin's Land seemed to exist outside the realm of known geography, a place of myth and legend. Some dismissed it as a fabrication, a product of the girl's confused mind. Others saw it as evidence of a hidden world, a parallel dimension accessible through some unknown portal. The idea of a subterranean civilization existing beneath the surface of the earth gained traction. Perhaps the wolf pits were not just traps for animals, but gateways to to another reality, a world populated by green-skinned people living in perpetual darkness. The possibilities, however far-fetched, seemed more plausible than any rational explanation. However, a breakthrough came with the suggestion that the children might have been from a place called Fornham, St. Martin, a village a few miles away, separated from Woolpit by dense forest, perhaps lost in the woods. They had become disoriented, and their story of St. Martin's Land was a garbled memory of their actual home. This theory gained credence when someone pointed out that the lord of that manor had cruelly poisoned his wards in order to usurp their inheritance. Could the children have fled into the woods to escape this fate? The green tinge to their skin, a symptom of the poisoning. It seemed the most rational explanation, the one that grounded the fantastical tale in the brutal realities of medieval England. But the Lord of Fornham, St. Martin, had died several years before the children appeared. And the poisoning story, while compelling, was based on rumor and conjecture, not concrete evidence. Moreover, the girls' description of St. Martin's Land, the claim that they had followed the sound of bells before finding themselves in Woolpit, didn't quite fit. Fornham, St. Martin, didn't have particularly loud bells, and even if they had wandered from that village, why were they green? The poisoning theory couldn't fully explain their strange complexion. The investigation had hit a wall, a frustrating dead end, where the rational explanation seemed just as implausible as the supernatural one. The case remained open, a puzzle with missing pieces and conflicting clues. Then a new piece of evidence surfaced, a forgotten document detailing a Flemish community living in the nearby forest of Thetford. These Flemish immigrants, persecuted and ostracized, lived in relative isolation, clinging to their own customs and traditions. Could the green children have been part of this community? Their strange skin tone, a result of a genetic anomaly, or a dietary deficiency common among the Flemish? The language barrier could explain their initial inability to communicate with the villagers. Perhaps St. Martin's Land was a misinterpretation of St. Martin's Heath, a known location within the Flemish territory. This theory offered a tantalizing glimpse into a possible solution, linking the children to a real, historical community. But the Flemish were known for their weaving, not for wearing clothes made of an unknown material. And while genetic anomalies or dietary deficiencies could explain a slightly unusual complexion, they couldn't account for the vibrant green hue of the children's skin. Furthermore, the Flemish community, while isolated, was not entirely cut off from the outside world. Someone would have recognized the children, or at least heard rumors of their existence. The Flemish connection, while promising, ultimately proved to be another false lead, a tantalizing possibility that dissolved under scrutiny. The green children remained an enigma, their origins shrouded in mystery. Years passed, and the girl, now fully integrated into English society, married a man from King's Lynn and lived a normal life. The green tint to her skin faded over time, perhaps due to a change in diet or exposure to sunlight. She learned to speak fluent English and adopted the customs of her adopted land. But even as she assimilated, the memory of her strange arrival remained, a persistent reminder of her unknown past. She never fully revealed the secrets of St. Martin's Land, perhaps because she didn't remember them, or perhaps because she chose to keep them hidden, locked away in the deepest recesses of her mind. And so, the mystery of the green children of Woolpit persists to this day. Was St. Martin's Land a real place, a hidden world beyond human comprehension? Or was it a metaphor, a symbolic representation of trauma, loss, and displacement? Did the children truly come from another dimension? Or were they simply victims of circumstance, caught in the crosscurrents of medieval England? The answers remain elusive, lost in the mists of time. The story of the green children has become a local legend, a staple of Suffolk folklore. It's a tale told around campfires, a whispered secret passed down through generations. The village of Woolpit, while proud of its history, is also haunted by this strange episode, forever associated with the image of two green-skinned children emerging from the forest. The wolf pits, now overgrown and forgotten, are seen by some as portals to another world, gateways to the unknown. The legend serves as a reminder that the world is full of mysteries, that there are things beyond our understanding, and that even in the most ordinary of places, the extraordinary can occur. The case remains open. The green children stand as a testament to the power of folklore, the enduring appeal of the unexplained. In a world increasingly dominated by science and reason, their story reminds us that there is still room for wonder, for mystery, and for the possibility of the impossible. The chilling irony. The girl, after adapting to her new life, never spoke of her homeland, perhaps suggesting that the horrors she faced in England were less frightening than whatever she had left behind. The relative peace she found in a land torn apart by civil war highlights the dark possibilities that lurk beyond our understanding. In places like St. Martin's Land, if it existed at all. And so, the green children of Woolpit remain an enigma, a stain on the tapestry of history that refuses to fade. Their story serves as a reminder that truth is often stranger than fiction, that the world is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled, and that sometimes the most compelling stories are the ones that remain unsolved. The haunting image of two green-skinned children, lost and alone in the English countryside, continues to capture the imagination, inviting us to ponder the nature of reality, the limits of human knowledge, and the enduring power of the unknown.